Hi, this is Mr. Arbit. I want to talk to you a bit about some important information for AP Stats. First things first, if you want to get in touch with me, email is definitely the best way. If you or your parents want to call, feel free to leave me a message if I don't pick up, since when I'm in my room, I'm usually teaching. And if you're on Twitter, feel free to tweet me anytime at Mr. Arbit. No matter how you get in touch with me, I always try to get back to you absolutely as soon as I can. Alright, AP Statistics. The AP means, of course, it's a college-level course, and the goal is for you to get some college-level credit for a class that's actually really important. It's a prerequisite these days for most majors in college, so it'll be nice to have some background in statistics and hopefully some credit to start you off when you get to college. Here's our textbook. Hopefully you already got that. We'll be working with that throughout the year. I definitely recommend you get yourself a nice big 3-ring binder. I do a lot of copying worksheets and notes handouts for you because there's so many large data sets we work with that would be a giant pain to have to copy down yourself. Hopefully you got a graphing calculator. You will absolutely need a TI-83 or TI-84, or even if you have one, a TI-Inspire for AP Stats. We do tons and tons of stats work on the calculator. Now the library has some, but I don't think they're going to start checking them out till October. I have a few in class I could loan out, but I'd highly recommend you have one yourself. You're going to need it in college anyway, I guarantee it. There's a lot of stuff in this syllabus that's only here because College Board requires it, because they want everybody teaching AP Stats around the world to teach basically the same thing in basically the same kinds of order. So this is one of the sections they require to be here. Some other materials, most of which we won't really use too much of. There's also a ton of prep books for the AP test, but don't worry about those now. That's many months away. We'll worry about that more next semester. As far as our grades go, 75% of the grades come from tests, which are at the end of pretty much every unit, and projects, which we have 1 or 2 of each semester. And then we have some quizzes every so often that I call frappies, free response, AP, practice, yay, frappy. They're basically past AP test questions that are really good practice for the actual AP test, and those count as quiz grades. That also falls under the 75%. The other 25% comes from daily homework assignments out of the book or worksheets, things like that. Every test I try to balance as evenly as I can between multiple choice and free response, just like the actual AP test, which is split 50-50 between the two. I'm sure many of you already know this, but the AP point scale is higher than the traditional GPA point scale. As long as you get a C or above, you'll notice that all of the GPA numbers for AP are 1 point higher than their corresponding number for a traditional point scale, which is nice, because if you get a B, you're still getting a 4.0. A homework will be assigned pretty much every day. You'll have it on a calendar every month, so you'll know what it is on any day in case you're absent. It's assigned every day, but I don't actually collect it all until the test or whatever we have at the end of that particular unit, and it's graded on completion. Some things about absences, I'm sure you know it all, etc., etc. We get extra credit every so often, so don't worry about it too much. As for help, I'm available for extra help most school days, before school, after school. I'll always post my schedule on the board on the side of the room so you know exactly which days I'm there. But generally, if I don't have a meeting, I'll be there. Then there's a whole bunch of pages with an outline of all the things we do in AP Stats. This is another thing that College Board just requires to be there. It's just an outline. It's not like word for word exactly what we're going to do every single day. But if anybody ever wants to know what we're going to do in AP Stats, you can just take a look at this. This pretty much shows it all. And then before we get to the last page, I believe there's 2 other pages in there, the Academic Integrity Policy for the high school. Please read this very carefully. We take this extremely seriously. I know that, I was an AP student myself, so I know the pressure that you can be under to get the best grades possible from yourselves, from your parents, from colleges, from everybody. But keep in mind that there are things you do not want to do, things that are not worth doing just to get those grades. So please read this very carefully, academic dishonesty, plagiarisms, and all the consequences of various things. Now there is a space to sign here, but don't worry about signing that. Just go back to the original syllabus, and if you could please sign this last page of that and have your parents sign it as well, saying they understand everything that was presented here, and if you could return that to me by Friday, I'll give you 5 easy points. Any other questions, feel free to ask anytime. Thanks for listening, and see you tomorrow.